So good in here right now. Paloma in the Van Aken district is taking tacos to the next level. I can tell you personally how delicious they are. Today, owner Zach Ladner is here to show us a delicious steak recipe that you can try at home or pop in the restaurants.
Yeah, so what I wanted to showcase here was, in the restaurant we call it our Churrasco steak.
Okay.
And it is, that can refer to several different cuts.
Okay.
In this case, we use what's called a bavette or a sirloin flap, and this is an all Ohio raised product as well. So how we do it in the restaurant is pretty cool. So we take the steak, as you can see here, and it's actually been sous vide already, okay? So this has been cooked to a perfect medium rare, which is
Is
really
that what we have to do at home?
No, you don't have to do it that way, but it is on cuts of meat like a hanger steak or skirt steaks. It is a really nice way to take a cut of meat that's very uneven in its thickness and get a very even degree of doneness on it, which can be difficult to do sometimes because it's...
Now, I haven't seen this cut before.
Yeah, so it's not very common. You can get it at our butcher shop. We have the Village Butcher.
In Mayfield, right?
And it's a really fantastic piece of meat. It's like all other sort of heavily grained meats like skirt steaks, flank steaks, hanger steaks. You want to always slice it against the grain, and it's always preferable to serve it at more like a medium rare temperature.
I was going to say, I'm always a little afraid of those steaks because they're so thin and there doesn't seem like there's a lot of room for error in cooking.
You do want to skew towards the medium rare end of things. Anytime there's a really well-defined grain, the more you cook it, the tighter it gets, and it's going to get like
Some
more
people like
tough.
that, but I don't. I like it real red. I like it nice and red.
So while we've got our steak searing here, it's actually searing in some rendered beef tallow. Just because we like to use all parts of the animal, so we render down the extra fat and we use that to sear our steaks.
If we don't have tallow at home, we use...
you could just use a canola oil, avocado oil, something like that. Something with a higher smoke point. Don't use an extra virgin olive oil for searing.
Okay.
Okay, so then what we're going to make for the side of our steak is actually a really classic chimichurri sauce. Ours is a little different. We add some cilantro to it, but otherwise it's pretty classic.
I love cilantro.
So we've got a little bit of chopped parsley here. I'm going to add some cilantro. That feels like enough. And then, you like garlic?
I do like garlic, yes, all the above.
We add a reasonable amount of garlic here. A little bit of chili flakes, not enough to make it like real hot.
You don't want to kill
but
people
enough
with
to make it like a little zip.
Okay.
Essentially, chimichurri is basically like an herby vinaigrette.
So delicious, I love it.
A little fresh salt.
Good splash of salt there.
A little black pepper. Okay, and then we're going to add just some red wine vinegar. You could use any kind of vinegar you want.
Okay.
In this case, we just have some classic red wine vinegar. And then some
And you're just
olive oil.
kind of eyeballing everything.
Yeah, so your normal ratio when you talk about vinaigrette is going to be 3 to 1. So
3 to 1,
parts oil to 1 part vinegar.
Okay.
But you can always adjust that based on your sort of like wants and desires. Some people like their sauces to be a little more acidic. Some people like them to be a little more sort of oily on the palate, and that all just depends on you. I tend to like a fair amount of acidity.
Me too.
Because I think it like cuts richness and whatnot.
Yes.
But it's up to the person.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our chimmy, what we've got here.
And that's something you can use on not just steak, but a chimichurri is great on chicken or shrimp or whatever.
Or anything,
yeah,
vegetables. And it'll keep, because of the acidity in it, it'll keep in your refrigerator for a pretty long amount of time, actually.
I might have to go home and make some of that today.
Okay, so let's get our steak flipped over here.
Now, how long would you say on each side, probably?
Again, that's going to depend a little bit on your stove, or if you're using a grill. You know, it just depends on that.
Keep an eye on it.
For here, I would say a couple minutes per side is going to be fine.
Okay.
At this point, we're going to add a little bit of butter into our pan.
Of course we are.
Because, I mean, butter is like, why not?
Butter.
Right?
And the real stuff.
Yeah, and then some aromatics as well. So we've just got a half jalapeno here.
Okay.
And then some cloves of garlic.
So that'll add flavor just like that, cooking in there, the jalapeno, without chopping it up or anything.
Yeah, it'll like infuse that butter, and then we'll baste it up over the steak a little bit. And then these actually come with the steak on the plate, so that if you want to get a side of tortillas or something like that at the restaurant, you can like slice up a little jalapeno, put it in your taco.
I gotta say, the redo of that place, because it's a very casual taco kind of place, and the redo that you guys shut down for, was that last year?
Yeah,
it's just so beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. I did all that, so I'm glad you liked it.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you know, just upscale. You know, we don't see a lot of that in
I'm from Texas.
taco cooking.
Yeah, I'm from Texas. I was in Austin before here, and that's, you know, sort of that like.
You're like
fancy,
a genius mathematician.
Yeah. Well, I was a mathematician at one point in my life. I was pretty good at it.
And then you're like, food.
I'd
rather do food.
Well, food was something I could share with everybody.
Yeah.
Whereas the more I got into mathematics, which I loved, it was just difficult to share that with people.
You're going
It
to
felt
be locked
difficult
in a
for
room
me.
by yourself.
Yeah, it felt difficult for me to say, how do I put all my love and passion into something that I can't share with others?
Right.
Okay, so this
All right,
feels
so then
pretty good right now, and we're going to
And then show
slice
people what
this
you
up
mean
a
by
little bit.
slicing on the grain.
Yeah, so you can see
We
here
have just a
the,
couple seconds left
well-defined
here.
grain.
Okay, so you're going to go across.
So we're gonna
Okay,
go right
there
across
you
the
go.
grain here.
And at an angle always makes it.
Well, it makes your presentation a little more attractive.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
All righty. So we have a
Okay.
couple seconds left here, and then you're
Yep.
just going to put some of the chimichurri on top.
Put it right on the plate here, and then we'll spoon over some of this butter that we've got here.
And that's the recipe. We will have that on our website, fox8.com, or just pop over to the Van Aken district. I highly recommend it. We'll be right back.